court file number 27, CR 20-12646.
Let's go.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:04 p.m. Signed
That's Devontae.
Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by a jury of 4 persons.
This is Devontae Clark listening as the verdict in the Derek Chauvin case is being read. Devontae has set up speakers to listen to the verdict at Cesar Chavez Plaza, downtown Sacramento. This is Sam Stanton of the Sacramento Bee. We'll be here to get more reaction from him.
Number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45.
It's done. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I just want to give away free stuff, y'all. Get the people, y'all. Come on, turn the cameras out. Get the community. Come on, get the community out. Show that we really doing. Show the hard work. Come on now.
These are used clothes and donations for the homeless people who've gathered here, who live here in this park. Devontae brought this entire collection to give away today.
Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 52.
I'm going to come back in 1 second. Just bear with me for a minute. We'll get back to our live show.
Are these your true and correct verdicts? Yes. Juror number 79.
human service agency that the city of Minneapolis chose to help bring peace and trauma, to help with the trauma, help outreach to our young people, and keep everyone safe. We've been praying nonstop for this verdict. And we are so thankful. I'm so thankful to God.
Okay, this is Sam Stanton of the Sacramento Bee here with Devontae Clark post verdict.
This is Justin. I can't wait to talk to them. You know, I really can't wait to talk to my family. I can't wait to talk to the family of George Floyd. I can't wait to call the family of Jacob Blake and Dante Wright. I can't wait to talk to Eric Garner Jr. You know, this is a club nobody wants to be part of. Like, I tell you, like, nobody. But we that hold each other together and keep each other connected, like me and the other members of the movement, you know, this is heartwarming. It warms the heart. And this is not hard work didn't get this done. Hard work got this done. Not hard work, but the hard work. We put in the hard work. You know, the justice system did not fail this time. It did not fail this time. We always complain and attack the justice system, but now we can say, you guys did what's right. It worked this time. Now let's see if it keeps on working and continues to work, not just for these situations, but the situations that are not in the national forefront, the headlines. You know what I mean? Let's focus on those stories too. And remember, Dante Wright's killer is out on $100,000. So Kim Porter is her name, Kim Potter. So we need to keep in mind that this is just a small victory, but injustice anywhere in the words of Dr. King is an injustice everywhere. So we still gotta hold the family of Dante Wright. So many families that are Adam Toledo. So many families we gotta stand in solidarity for. But this right here is a victory a little bit. And for my mother and my grandmother, I know that I know their heart is like, I know they like, oh, we got this. You know what I mean? But yeah, people need to know the difference.
Devontae, what's it been like for your mother and grandmother? What's happened with the stress of this?
My grandmother's so stressful through this trial, through all the deaths. She's in the hospital right now. My grandmother is in the hospital right now. And I believe, personally, I believe this. I don't want to go against her doctors. I believe it's because of broken heart. I believe she's in the hospital because of a broken heart. Erica Garner, the daughter of Eric Garner, died fighting for her father. And I would hate for my grandmother to die fighting for justice of a broken heart, the way Erica Garner did. So for my grandmother, I wanted everybody to keep her in prayers. She's in the hospital right now, but I know she's watching this. And to my grandmother, if you're watching, I love you. And everybody love everybody.
Do you think that what happened with your brother and the reaction to it played any role in what the jury did today in Minneapolis?
I think it did when it comes to the passage of Stephan's law, I think, of course. I think when it comes to the way we organize out here and the actionable items, I've been to Minneapolis, and they personally told me they were inspired by the way we fight out there, to keep them motivated. I've talked with the NAACP in Minneapolis, the league of the NAACPs. I've talked to the council members in Minneapolis, in the districts where George Floyd had died. You know, it's a district of 40,000. I've been there with the community on the ground, you know, with the people. And I'll tell you right now, our influence here is spread around. I heard Gavin Newsom say this to me before. He said, when California sneezes, the rest of America catches a cold. And I think that's what we've seen, not just here through this situation, but I think it's what we're going to see in future situations, especially when we don't get any justice. You're going to see people come up with actionable items if we don't get justice. Right now, it's a celebration for George Floyd. They are celebrating in Minneapolis right now. How do I know that? Because I was there with them and they were planning the celebration. You know, but if this was become a not guilty verdict, you would not have a celebration in the streets for George Floyd. It would be a completely different image.
What do you think? What do you think Sacramento can expect tonight as a result of this?
Sacramento is passion without direction. They're chaotic. They don't know how to organize and fight on a solid front. You know, the people here in Sacramento, they haven't sat down after the death of Stephan to plot, plan, mobilize, organize, strategize, and most importantly, weaponize. Out there in Minnesota, they're doing that. They're taking the time to do that. People in Sacramento are so divided over divisive rhetoric, over groups, over agendas, over organizations, over labels, over positions, over everything that has nothing to do with these people. Everything that has nothing to do with these people. Every day of my life since my brother died, I've not taken one break, no Airbnb, no vacation. I've spent my time with these people because it's the people over the politics. The people over profit, the people over power, and these people have put in their damn the position over the people. They have put their privilege over the people, and that's why Sacramento will never be able to come together unless we as a people come together for actionable items. Until the community of Sacramento come together for actionable items like Stefan's house, like Stefan Clark's law, like Stefan Clark's day, like the luxury transportation, all that other stuff. Until we as people, our own de-escalation tactical teams, feeding the hungry, our own restoration teams, until we come together like that, damn it, we will never get justice in the streets. Never. We're wasting our time. This is a pointless conversation, honestly, because they're going to march, they're going to put on their all-black outfits, and they're going to destroy stuff, and what will get done? What will get done? I'll wait. I got time. What will get done? If I go destroy Walgreens, what have I accomplished? I got some free stuff.
You think we're going to see that tonight?
No. I know. And if they do that stuff, I hope they're held accountable to the highest extent of the law. Because I guarantee it won't be no people out there that look like me. So, if they do go out there and do that, good luck. Everybody love everybody. But we are not supporting that. We are with the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King. That is a peaceful, non-violent, for the people. We don't want no problems. Everybody love everybody. That's my story. I've been sticking to it. And I ain't changing. I ain't switching. I ain't jacking, jiving, or hiding. I'm out here for the people. I'm going to die with the people. I don't believe I'm going to die with a bad heart. I don't believe I'm going to die by diabetes. I believe I fight for the people, so I'm going to die for the people. Like Fred Hampton, like Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X, like Marcus Garvey. I've decided my life will be for the people. No religions, no politics. I don't need to be in City Hall. I don't have to have a church. I don't care about having a 501c3 or LLCs or any of that. I've seen too much money and enough money. Everything green comes and goes. I care about the people. And for me, care about the people, the only way, actionable items after these verdicts. Justice delayed is justice denied. But now we as a community, it's all I want to put out there. It's actionable items now. How do we move forward after this? How do we as a community move forward? I'm willing, all law enforcement, I'm willing to sit and bridge the gap with law enforcement. I'm willing to begin the dialogue with law enforcement on how we can promote intellectual independence, how we can talk about community sustainability, how we can talk about community policing, how we can talk about evidence policing based on research. I want to talk about how we can figure out what the hell is going on. How can we get our people from our community to be involved in these ride-along programs to help bridge the gap? Because our officers don't have a connection with the community. And our underdeserved, underrepresented, and at-risk communities don't have a connection with those who are sworn to protect and serve our communities. And my job on this earth is to change that. And one of the ways I'm doing is by giving out free shit all the time. Free stuff all the time to the people. Law enforcement has a lot of money. They make a lot of City Hall's budget. They have a lot of, especially from SGU. I was a commissioner from SGU, and I can tell you firsthand, they got a lot of money. So since they got so much money, quit buying on tanks and cars, RC Willies, and nice toys, and come out here and help your reputation. Help, because Terrence and Jared should be fired. They should not be on the Sacramento Police Department. They should not be running through other grandmothers' backyards. Yet they are. So you guys have to fix that reputation and come help. This is how you do it. Actionable items. That's all I want to talk about is actionable items. I don't want to talk about who Stefan was. I don't want to talk about how we feel about the George Floyd trial. I want to talk about moving forward. What are our actionable items moving forward to prevent these types of atrocities from ever happening again? And also to commemorate the life and legacy of George Floyd in a positive light so that his name may live on for generations and generations and generations and generations, long, long, long after you and I have left this earth. I've done my grand speech. I hope you all enjoyed the speech. It wasn't shit, but it was the best I could do with the emotion that I'm feeling. I'm going to get back with the people because, like I said, I'm going to die with the people. And she's still in shoes. So I love you all. Thank you guys. God bless you. Any more questions? Get that mic back. Thank you.
Devontae, have you heard from the mayor?
No, I haven't heard from Darryl Steinberg. We love Darryl, but I've not heard from our mayor. And the mayor and the city of Brooklyn Center, I believe they fired the city manager. If Steinberg could take notes from those type of city councils, we would appreciate it. And we love Steinberg, but Steinberg needs to call me more often. Me and Stein, I jumped into his life, actually. And
literally,
yeah. And I love Steinberg, I do. But I think he needs. He has a lot on his plate. I know he didn't get the job as Attorney General. He's probably bummed out about it. But he doesn't need that job right now. He needs to figure out on how to be a proper mayor right now. Focus on being an adequate mayor and being maybe you'll get blessed with a better job. But I've not heard from the mayor, and I love the mayor, and the mayor needs to come out here and do what I'm doing. The mayor needs to be out here with me. I'm the unofficial mayor. So if the mayor can come out and join the real mayor, it'll be much love. But I love Daryl, and we need to connect.
Well, you've had a lot of impact on how the Sacramento Police Department operates. Have you had any with the Sacramento Sheriff's Office?
No, I've been trying to connect with the Sacramento Sheriff because we sent over 5,000 face masks to the Sacramento County Jail in the real branch center, the branch out there in Elk Grove. So I've been wanting to bridge the gap with Scott Jones. I love to get Scott Jones. I love everybody, even Scott Jones. But it's what are we doing, actionable item-wise, to preserve life in our communities and to make sure our people are treated like human beings in those jails. They are not treating our people like human beings in those jails. So if Scott Jones don't want to have a meeting with me, then I will call for accountability, and I will also call for a new sheriff to be taking his position.
Are you encouraged at all by the fact that they've started to wear body cams finally?
Yes, I love that. Slow progress is better than no progress. I was talking to somebody who's running against Scott Jones at the time my brother died. Her name was Donna Cox. She's a former sheriff, and she was talking about anyways. And what we were talking about was how the sheriff's department are taking slow steps forward into a progressive sheriff's department where it represents not just some of the community but all of the county.
I know you answered this before, but I mean, some of this has to be a result of what you did after your brother was killed.
Yeah.
I mean, the marches that didn't stop, right?
Did not stop at all. I took not one break, as you remember. They reignited after George Floyd, but I was marching a year before that, and then, so I think that the hard work that we put in has definitely influenced the movement across the United States of America. Stephon Clark has influenced the United States of America, literally. And I'm not just saying that on the aspect of the forefront of the protest movement. I'm saying that on policy and legislative change. I'm saying that through the Super Bowl, when he won the Super Bowl and his name was on the helmets of the players. I'm saying on all fronts, Stephon Clark has done more in the last 3 years than most men will do in a lifetime.
Is there anything you can say or do to keep people from coming downtown with duffel bags full of rocks and the things we've seen in the past week of the 2 different demonstrations that had nothing to do with you?
Those people are terrorists. They are disrespecting the life and legacy of Stephon. They are disrespecting the life and legacy of George Floyd. They are disrespecting the life and legacy of Dante Wright. Because we want to commemorate their lives and legacy in a positive light. This is a positive light. If you want to do positive, that's not positive. What they're doing is passion without direction, and that's chaos. This is passion with direction, and this is purpose. And I see the CHPs out here, but they don't have to worry about nothing because we're not destroying, we're not looting, we're not stealing, we're not killing. We are helping people, and I'm going to be doing this till the day I die. I'm going to be helping people, and I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I'm not going to be looting. I've never been the type to throw rocks because I couldn't throw rocks at people because I was too busy taking stones being thrown at me, literally, called crazy, doing all this type of stuff. But they don't have actionable items. If you come downtown to destroy my city, you are disrespecting the life and legacy of Stephon, George, and Dante. You are disrespecting their lives and legacy because we want to commemorate in a positive light. And that you have nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. You have nothing to do with the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. You have nothing to do with actionable items because you don't know how to channel your anger. You don't know how to communicate. And it's chaotic. And that's why I say passion without direction is chaos. So, yeah.
Real quick, you mentioned regarding the verdict trial and the decision made today. You said that justice was served, that we got to win today. But for some reason, I can't help to think that this was influenced by the power of the people, which you spoke on. Do you believe that as well, that the power of the people really influenced this decision?
Ain't no fight like the power of the people because the power of the people don't stop. The power of the people, we have done something that nobody has ever done before. We have mobilized. We have mobilized and we have taken the streets and we have said no justice, no peace, whose streets, our streets. So the work that we've done for generations, it doesn't get enough credit, but the people united can never be divided. This is a people's fight, and I'm so proud of my city. I'm so proud of the people. I'm so proud of the community. I don't know what to do.
What's your message to the people of Sacramento as we move forward and try to capitalize off this win?
Those are artists, brother callers. Those are artists. Don't worry about them. And the young people you see, ignore them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're okay.
All right, and then sorry.
What's your message to the people of Sacramento as we try to capitalize off this?
To people in Sacramento, to all the activists, a lot of activists out here want to try to capitalize off this. You don't know the families. You haven't spoken with the families. You haven't met with the families. You haven't grieved with the families. You're an activist. This is not your fight. Stick to, these people, they jump on everything that comes on hot. They just jump on everything. I mean, somebody get a dog get hit in the middle of the street, you'll be 100 signs, no justice, no peace. And it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Maybe the owner didn't have the leash on the dog, Like, let's find out the problem here before we just start attacking everything. A lot of these activists, they haven't gotten to the root of the problem. They just want to go out there and fight and talk about anything. They just want TVs and cameras and newspaper articles and all that stuff. They're not really in this, you know what I mean? They talk so much about the Reverend Al Sharpton when they try to emulate Al Sharpton. It's crazy to me. But the people who are in this, the people who are really going to fight out here, contact the families. I mean, not just the families like the George Floyds and the Stephon Clarks. Contact the Brandon Smiths. Contact the Daryl Richards. Contact the names they don't know, the names that are not in the headlines. Contact the Augustines. Contact the James Riveras. Contact the Kobe Fridays. Contact the families you don't see every day. If you really want to stand with the people, stand with the community, stand with the nation, you contact those we don't see on the forefront. Because if you don't, you are denying justice and accountability in the community of the people who need it and need most. And we as a people cannot deny that much further, much longer. We as the people have to come together and say, what does actionable items look like? Because the community are going to do it. They're busy with bills and work and school and church. So the people who are saying they're activists and real community leaders have to take that leap forward and speak it for the people, frontline, 10 toes down on the ground.
How do we get the many community leaders and activists in Sacramento to all sit down at the table together and have that conversation as to what we need to do to move the conversation forward?
I love you, brother. You're asking the right question. We need a social, transformative, restorative justice meeting. A social, transformative, restorative justice meeting. Black Lives Matter, NAACP, I Am SAC Foundation, Antifa, Proud Boys, Democrat, Republicans, everybody, the Muslims, the Christians. We need everybody in one room at the same time. A social, transformative, with the gang members, the people that are not the gang members. We need everybody in the same room at the same time to have a meeting so we can bridge the gap, so we can come together. Because the reason we are losing this fight is because we don't have a uniform. The officers, the system, the elected officials, they have Robert's rules. They have a uniform. They have a badge. They have a code of conduct. They have a language. We haven't established our uniform. And when I say uniform, I'm not talking about clothing in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking about a uniform, unity, community, immunity. I'm talking about unity in the community. That's why I'm doing this right now.
Thanks, Devontae.
Thank you, guys. I love you all.
Take
Everybody,
care.
love you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Love you. How you doing, brother? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got clothes for you. I got shoes for you. Whatever you want, baby boy.
Okay, this is Sam Stanton at Cesar Chavez Plaza once again. That was Devontae Clark, Stephon Clark's brother, and he is essentially the only person here who came for the verdict. Most of these folks are homeless people who live in the park here, and Devontae, organized this drive to bring all of these clothes and shoes and necessary items for the homeless down here to give away. But as far as crowds or demonstrations, there's no sign of that anywhere down here yet. I'm going to take a spin around some other parts of downtown. But right now it looks like with the guilty verdicts, there's nothing happening. It's a typical downtown Tuesday in Sacramento during a pandemic. So I'm going to take a pause and I'll get back to you as soon as I can move on to another spot and see what's going on. Thanks a lot. It's Sam Stanton of the Bee.